Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you had a great week. Today is Friday, February 4th, 2022, and this is your Friday planning video. As I promised you last week, I want to talk about a couple of things today. First, I want to give you a few hints about getting the tax information collected and to your accountant with the most ease that you can. I also wanted to follow up on the planning video from last week and talk about a couple of things that we can do if the markets are down markets, as we've seen in the last couple of weeks. So first, let's talk about taxes, more specifically the tax documents that your accountant and your tax preparers are going to need. Now, you can probably recite this by heart by now, but you do know that we do not provide personal tax advice. We will work with your accountants and tax preparers to get all the information that they need. We do it every year. We look forward to doing that this year as well. We're going to try to do the best we can to make this process as efficient as possible. If you've not connected your tax preparer with myself, my father, or Rebecca, please consider doing that. It'll make it a lot easier to have an approved conversation with them when they need something from us, because obviously we know what's going to happen otherwise. They're going to call you, ask you to call us, and ask them to bring us something or send them something. And if you've ever played the telephone game as a kid, you know how that's going to turn out. So let's see if we can get that done. We can go around that and make sure that that happens. It's important that your tax preparer have what they need. So quickly, let me tell you about the LPL information plan. If you have accounts with us on another platform, the plan will vary slightly, but it'll be similar. LPL has already started to distribute 1099s. It started on January 21st. They are mailed out in batches weekly. Preliminary 1099 forms are always the big question. If LPL is waiting for information from any of your holdings, then it will not be a final 1099, thus the preliminary status. These will not be mailed, but they are available online as of February 18th for anyone enrolled on the account view system. If you're not, we will have access to them and we can get them to you and or your accountant when you have that question. So LPL has been focused on leading on the accuracy and timeliness for your tax forms. Last year, 93% of all our 1099s were distributed and delivered by February 19th. There was also an industry-leading 1% correction rate. Our goal is to continue to get you what you need when you need it and get it right. So please stay in touch with us if you're looking for your forms. If you do not have online access and you want online access, please contact Rebecca. Excuse me. She'll get you set up and it will be a lot easier for you to access those forms. Speaking of Rebecca, as always, she's our rock star. She's the one that continues to do an amazing job and make all this happen. You may recall that July of last year, we lost our Mount Pleasant office to a fire. Rebecca and my father have been working at a temporary location since then, and I am so appreciative of them as well as the entire IHT team to make sure that we've been able to continue to provide you the service that you need during this time. Starting this week, we have a new home in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. We're so excited. We are in the downtown area of the Ion subdivision. The new address is 10 Resolute Lane, Suite 201. You'll be getting a lot of information about this. We're excited to have the new home. Phone numbers are the same. The address will be in the email that goes with this video. It'll also be shared in a lot of different other ways that you'll see. So a few last items, as I promised you, about planning for the down markets. So we went over a few things last week. So if you didn't see last week's planning video, maybe take a look at that. For this week, I wanted to add a few other things. Let's start with this, dollar cost averaging. Now, this is the technique of investing a specific dollar amount on a weekly, monthly, or quarterly basis, rain or shine, good markets or bad markets, and keeping that going on a regular basis. I've spoken about this in the past. Regular investments over time can make a big difference in your outcomes. The key is that in down markets not to lose your discipline. So that is the key now. Keep up your systematic investment plan if you have one. Consider one if you don't have one. Another great thing to do, in market downturns is nothing. Yes, you heard that right, nothing. As we've been planning for your long-term goals year after year, we take market pullbacks into account. We'll talk about that in a minute. If we have your plan right, there will be no need to act at this time. The real key to inaction is the emotional sell everything reaction that is rarely the correct move. So just to hammer that home, if you sold out last spring of 2020, when the S&P 500 fell over 30% in a short period of time, by the end of 2020, you would have missed the 65% move up, the gains off the bottom from that time. It's a lot easier to decide to sell than decide when to buy back in. Ask me about this, I'll explain to you more. Another idea is to look for dividend-paying stocks. You can see that due to stocks going down in the overall market, sometimes for not fundamental reasons of their own, the dividend yield on those stocks will go up. If it's a safe and secure dividend, then it may provide some opportunity. Again, something let's talk about. Finally, I'll just remind you that market declines, as I said before, are a part of investing. We know that according to Capital Groups and Standard & Poor's, 5% pullbacks happen about 3 times per year on average. 10% once per year, 15% about once every 3 years, and 20% or more about once every 6 years. As I mentioned on Monday, history does not always repeat itself, but many times it often rhymes. So I'm not sure that these numbers are going to hold, but from 1951 through 2020, they did hold. So we'll just have to see if that happens. If we keep our heads about us and we follow our plans, don't let emotions take over. Keep your eyes on the goals, plan for every possibility that we can. We'll continue to work to strive to find success in reaching our goals. Planning in downturns is necessary, but not always fun. Keep in touch, call me, email me with questions you have. Let's use this time to make sure that our plan is solid and it's in place. Have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.